Hello and welcome back to our A-frame class. Today we begin the lecture series from where we started from using the Zoom application. But today I just feel we should start from scratch so that everybody gets to appreciate the A-frame, how the installation process is before we start adding some sort of A-frame entity components within our script to be displayed online. Now, without wasting much time, I've already opened the bracket framework, which is the IDE, the bracket IDE, and I also have my Chrome software also open up. So the first thing to do is to go to File, then we go to Open, then we locate where our A-frame project is going to be. In this case, it's going to run on our web server, which is the AMP. Those that use XAMPP, your root folder is htdocs. So for AMP, your root folder is www. So you create a folder called probably A-frame, and within that, I have another folder called script. But of course, all our A-frame files will reside in the A-frame folder, which is inside the www folder. So I'll just select that one, as you can see. So within that, you can see I have the script file, the script folder, and the HTML file. And I remember telling you that the index.html is the first file that is open for most web servers. So that is why I have it named as index.html. Now, from the previous class, I remember I showed you how to set up your brackets IDE to make things easier for you when you are coding. So in this case, I'm going to go through quickly. So I'll hold down the shift and press exclamation mark. Then I'll press on the tab key to help display all the important information that I need to proceed with this work. So of course, this is an HTML file, HTML5 file. So these are required for the browser to know exactly which markup language that you are using to for it to interpret correctly. So I have the htdocs, the doc type, which is HTML. Then I also have HTML language is equal to English. Then right after the HTML, I have my head tag. Then I have my meta character set tag. In fact, this is very important. Even when you are developing websites, I would advise you set up the meta character set to UTF-8. This is the standard that most browsers understand. So I advise you always have this. But of course, you don't have to memorize this thing offhand, but at least you should know how the structure of HTML really looks like. So when you type the exclamation mark and you tap this, all these are given us. So with today's activity, I'm going to talk about A-frame installation. So this is how it looks like. So right after, so this is going to be the title bar. If I should save this, you can see I have from here, which is the live preview. When I click on it, this is what is there. We have the title to be A-frame installation. That is where the title is. So any other thing will fall within the body tag. So if I should type, this is just an example, to display content in the body tag. And I save this, you can see this, it should automatically display the information that I have typed within the body tag. But of course, we are dealing with A-frame, so we want to find out if whatever we are doing is correct. Now, I remember also telling you that anytime you think of integrating A-frame or integrating A-frame into your codes, how will you know if your code is actually responsive with A-frame? So I'm going to drag this up here. So from the page, from our live preview, you can see this is a simple HTML page. So how do we make sure, or how do we find out if indeed we've been able to integrate the A-frame JavaScript into our page, we'll be looking out for the VR icon over here. That is what is going to tell us that indeed we have been able to install A-frame correctly. Now to do that, I told you that all the scripts that you'll be writing would have to reside in the head tag. So right after the title, the next thing I'm going to type in here is going to be scripts. Sorry. So I can just type scripts. Ideally, this is how it's supposed to be. I type scripts, then I close the tag and it closes it for me. But with the Emmet extension that we created, I can just type scripts, then I'll just press the tab and it automatically closes it up for me. So within it, I'm going to specify where the script is, which is the source, src. Sorry, let me quickly do it so that it becomes easier for us to. So I'll call it src. Then this time you can see it automatically has selected the folder called script, which is what we see here. So I'll select the script. Then within the scripts folder, I have the A-frame file, which is A-frame.js. Of course, I told you this is the minified version of the A-frame, especially when you are dealing with production version. When you put it online, you should have the minified version, because that has most of the unwanted spaces removed. But for production, experimental session, I would use this one. So that is one way of inputting the scripts in our tag. The second option would be to also call out the script, but this time round, the source which we're going to integrate will be maybe from online. We look out for the A-frame, we go to the A-frame website and we pull out the location of the current A-frame, maybe A-frame.io. We pull out the current A-frame, maybe releases. If it is the current version is 1.0, maybe 1.0. Dot. So you can just go to the current version of the A-frame, then you copy it and come and put it here. But of course, we are not going to use this one, just because we've already have the minified version on our computer. That is what you are going to use. So I'm going to save this, and you should be mindful when I save it, there should be a change over here. So let me refresh the page. Okay, so it has not been really integrated. So let's see. We have to make sure we see the tag in here. Yes, of course. Since we have the script in here, we have not really talked about including a scene. You know, in computer graphics, you first of all have to get a scene, and within the scene, that is where your virtual objects are found. So we have to find a way to include the scene within our body tag. So that is where we include the scene. So we call it we would call the A scene. So the A scene. Then within the A scene, this is just the creation of a scene. So we are creating a scene just like what we have on our computer. So the scene is what is going to display the objects that we have. So once you have it called and we save it, then you can see the VR icon has now shown over here. So this tells us that we've been able to integrate A-frame successfully in terms of installing it for our browser to see. So from here, you can see we can go to the VR mode to see if we have any objects in here. But of course, we don't have anything in there. So whenever you see the VR here, it means you have been able to successfully install the A-frame in your A-frame project. All right.